Imagine a world where Bill Clinton never made it to the White House, where George H.W. Bush wins a second term, and the entire course of the 1990s shifts. No Monica Lewinsky scandal, no comeback kid, no Clinton-era boom as we know it. Instead, a legacy reclaimed and a Republican blueprint rewritten. Like and subscribe for more. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell for more history documentaries. Please watch the video till the end, as good interaction would help the performance of the video and the growth of my channel massively. The turning point. What changed in this alternate reality? In our real timeline, George H.W. Bush's defeat in 1992 came down to a sluggish post-recession economy, his controversial decision to raise taxes, and the insurgent third-party candidacy of Ross Perot, which siphoned off millions of conservative and independent votes. Bill Clinton capitalized on a unified Democratic Party, youthful charisma, and voter fatigue with 12 years of Republican rule. But in this alternate timeline, a few decisive changes rewrite the ending. Ross Perot bows out completely. Instead of re-entering the race late, in 1992, Perot stays out. This consolidates much of the anti-Clinton, fiscally conservative vote behind Bush. The economy recovers faster. Signs of improvement in mid-1992 are more visible and felt by everyday Americans. Bush uses a more aggressive PR strategy to highlight these gains. Pat Buchanan is sidelined. Instead of challenging Bush from the right in the primaries and dividing the party, Buchanan loses traction early. The Republican National Convention is unified and focused on Bush's leadership. A more charismatic campaign. The Bush campaign deploys stronger debate performances, revamped messaging, and appeals directly to suburban moderates wary of Clinton's past scandals and lack of national experience. Bush edges out Clinton in the Electoral College, winning key states like Ohio, Florida, and New Hampshire, and secures a narrow but clear re-election. The national reaction. From relief to resentment. The South and Midwest react with cautious optimism. Evangelical voters, initially frustrated with Bush's moderate stances, rally behind him to prevent a liberal Democrat from taking the White House. In the North, reactions are mixed. Urban centers lean blue, but recognize that Bush now represents stability during a volatile time. Blue-collar workers remain skeptical, but enough of them give Bush a second chance. Ross Perot, watching from the sidelines, regrets his decision to bow out. He vows to build a long-term third-party movement, sowing seeds for a stronger reform party in the years ahead. Bill Clinton, still relatively young, returns to Arkansas to reassess his political future. Many write him off. No one imagines he'll become one of the most dominant figures of post-Cold War Democratic politics. But that future is now in flux. Bush's second term. A steady hand or missed opportunity. Bush's second term becomes a tale of cautious governance. Cabinet and personnel. The Bush team stays largely intact. James Baker returns to manage both foreign affairs and economic messaging. Dick Cheney continues to rise in influence. Dan Quayle remains VP, though he's kept out of policy roles to avoid gaffes. Economic policy. Learning from past backlash, Bush avoids broad-based tax hikes. Instead, he introduces targeted tax increases on the wealthiest Americans, framed as shared sacrifice, and controls spending by trimming defense and certain welfare programs. The deficit shrinks gradually, and investor confidence returns. However, the economy doesn't soar like it did under Clinton. Healthcare. No sweeping reform is attempted. Unlike Hillary Clinton's failed effort in real life, Bush prefers incremental changes, such as expanding coverage for children and pushing for portability. These pass in a bipartisan compromise, but fall short of universal coverage. Social policy. The Brady Bill is passed, with Bush supporting it as a crime control measure. However, he vetoes the broader 1994 Omnibus Crime Bill, citing concerns about federal overreach and spending. He reluctantly institutes a version of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, aiming to sidestep deeper conflict over LGBTQ military service. The Republican Revolution. Without the revolution, even with Bush in office, the 1994 midterms still bring major Republican gains, fueled by Newt Gingrich's contract with America and public desire for a check on executive power. But it's not branded a revolution, it's more a course correction. Bush, now a lame duck, compromises to pass a trimmed-down welfare reform and leans on executive orders to manage gridlock. Foreign affairs. A commander continues. Bush's foreign policy continues to define his presidency. NAFTA is signed in 1993 with bipartisan support. Bush frames it as a logical continuation of global economic leadership post-Cold War. The Oslo Accords move forward, with Bush playing mediator behind the scenes, capitalizing on his diplomatic credibility. World Trade Center bombing. Bush condemns the attack, but law enforcement handles it as a criminal matter. Anti-terrorism funding is modestly increased. Somalia and Black Hawk Down. Bush scales back troop commitments earlier, avoiding the disastrous 1993 raid. The U.S. withdraws before public support collapses. Haiti. Bush uses diplomacy rather than invasion to pressure the military junta, favoring sanctions and a regional coalition. Bosnia. Bush is more cautious. U.S. forces avoid direct involvement early on, though NATO peacekeeping grows under European leadership. The road to 1996, Quayle, Dole, or a Democratic resurgence. By 1996, the Republican Party faces a leadership crisis. Dan Quayle attempts a run, but fails to excite the base or moderates. Bob Dole becomes the GOP nominee, promising competence and continuity. However, after 16 years of Republican presidents, voters look for change. The Democrats rebound with Al Gore or a rising star like Bob Kerrey or Dick Gephardt, offering a populist, reform-minded message. Voter fatigue, economic stagnation, and a lack of bold vision on the Republican side lead to a Democratic victory, just 4 years delayed. Bush's legacy, a quiet statesman, not a comeback king. Without the sting of a one-term presidency, George H.W. Bush's legacy looks different. He's remembered as a steady, measured president who guided the nation through the end of the Cold War and avoided overreach. Though less dynamic than Clinton, he becomes a symbol of stability. But his second term is also remembered for missed opportunities: no major health care reform, slow tech sector growth, and cultural stagnation. The energy of the late 90s feels absent. History judges him kindly, but not glowingly. What do you think? Write your opinion and version of the story in the comments below. Please be polite and kind. If you want to know what would have happened if Carter defeated Reagan in 1980, click on the video on the left. Thanks for watching.